So with us to share a little bit more about how Heart of Biddeford and the Biddeford Renaissance is due in large part to their partnerships with Black-owned businesses is Delilah Pupoure, the Executive Director of Heart of Biddeford, and Rhona Deah, the owner and founder of Rhona Beauty.
Thank you. Rhona and I really love the spotlight. We'll try to get used to it, but thank you so much for having us. And I do love getting to see that video and remember going through that process. A lot of people around the country have been more interested in learning about Biddeford and Maine because of being able to share that and apply for that Great American Main Street Award. I've been doing the job at Heart of Biddeford for 11 years. Delilah Pupoure, and I'll have you introduce yourself too.
I'm Rhona Deah. I'm the owner of Rhona Beauty, LLC, right on Main Street in Biddeford.
Hope you wrote that down. Just a few things about, Main Street organizations do focus on business development. It's also community development, building relationships with everybody in our community. But as far as the business development part goes, there are a lot of barriers to starting up businesses. And part of that is if you're coming new to the town, there's a lot of new people to meet. So how do you take care of that barrier? And it's really not talked about that much, but structural racism is a barrier to starting up businesses or just feeling like you're part of a community. So at Heart of Biddeford, we do try to directly talk about, I guess, diversity and inclusion has been in our language and intention for quite a while, but I think really after the murder of George Floyd, we were able to say, we have to talk about equity and about structural racism more directly in our economic and community development work. A big part of that is, okay, good. But it needs to be based in relationship building, not doing things for people, but doing things with people. We were fortunate to apply. There was a grant opportunity out there for addressing COVID, and they were looking for creative responses, and I said, how about we creatively deal with the disparate impact of COVID on Black people in Maine? So we applied for a grant and got to work closely with Black-owned Maine. And we were able to support and amplify the voices and experiences and the products of Black-owned businesses in Biddeford. That's not just something you do for a short grant period. It's a lifetime, and hopefully based on lots of continued learning and relationships. One of my favorite new relationships is a new business owner in Biddeford, and just hoping, Rhona, you can talk a little bit honestly about starting a business, starting it in Biddeford, and anything about working with the Main Street program.
So starting a business, I don't know for others, but for me, it was very hard. Had no clue in anything business related. I am a hairstylist. I only know how to stand behind a chair and do hair. So doing the business part of things has been very nerve-wracking. And then moving to a city where you know nobody and you've always heard negative stories about this place. I've been discouraged so many times when I would look into that direction. But again, that was one of the only places I could afford to open a spot. So I took a leap of faith and I did it, and I started finding ways I could network with people. And everybody pushed me to my new fairy godmother, who literally took me on her wings, and she started, I would call it tooting my horn, and she will help me with things I have no clue in. Even if she doesn't know, we look it up together. She's always working with me. The community aspect is more like a family in that area. It's like the Main Street, everybody's checking on everybody. I've worked in other cities before, and I've never seen that. But coming to Biddeford, all the negativity I've heard is like the opposite, a total flip. So, yeah.
That's great. I think the best to leave you with the last word on that. Thank you very much.